P.J. Washington, ladies and gentlemen, has backed Michael Jordan and Mitch Kupchak, to the brink of they're going to have to pay him. They backs are against the walls right now, ladies and gentlemen. They have to pay P.J. Washington. Do you realize that the Charlotte Hornets, they beat the Oklahoma City Thunder? Also, you have P.J. Washington. This man put up a 43-piece. Seriously, unbelievable. 16 to 24 shooting. He was feeling it all in his bag. P.J. Washington is a phenomenal young player. I think he's starting to grow. I'm going to keep it 100. I wasn't too, ever since obviously the one of one has landed out here, obviously I have to take heed to Mr. P.J. Washington. So as of the years of watching P.J., I'm seeing the maturation process of him. Shout out to my man All Access Dex. PJ on the runway, and he's about to take off with a bag. Let me tell you something right now. They're going to have to pay him, man, for numerous reasons why. It's so much working in PJ Washington's favor. It's ridiculous. PJ Washington is the truth and a half, man. First, I want to shout out PJ, because I'm not going to get all into too much, but, he's had a lot of things going on and off the floor over the past year and some change. I'm not going to get all into his personal life, but if you following, PJ, you know what's going on. So I want to give him major props on that for remaining professional and sticking to his craft. Because despite when a lot of chirping was going on, all you seen was PJ Washington in the gym. So I want to give him major credit for that. Number one, the man's averaging 15 points this season. He's clearly stepped into a much better role for the Hornets. Obviously Miles Bridges, he was dealing with the domestic situation that has sidelined him for the whole entire season. I don't think we knew that Miles was going to miss time, but I don't think nobody thought it was going to be the whole entire season. And to be honest with you, with the emergence of P.J. Washington, the Charlotte Hornets got options. Do they want to pay Miles? Because, to be honest, well, we don't know what's up with Miles, but I tell you what, they're not giving out $200 million contracts. I'm going to tell you that right now. I don't know if PJ going to command $100 million, but it's going to be definitely $20+ million. And along with a Miles deal, well, even though Miles might come back on an offer, but they do know they got to pay him, and they got to pay LaMelo Ball. So before you know it, ladies and gentlemen, the Charlotte Hornets is starting to get a little pricey. I do believe if they pay him, that's gonna kiss Gordon Hayward goodbye. PJ is definitely looking to be into a role, and I think this is gonna be the norm. And that's gonna be a question I want to ask y'all too as well while we in here. Is this the norm for PJ? Is he gonna be, a great player like this, continuing to elevate, or is this business? Knowing it's a contract year, you know how people do on contract years. They have their best seasons, and PJ is playing well. What I will say about PJ Washington is, for his size, I would love for him to be a better rebounder. 4 rebounds, that's just not cutting it. He averaged 6 rebounds at one point in his career. I believe it was the second season, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't know what's going on with him with the rebound. I think that's something that PJ need to work on. Obviously, he's perfecting his role with the 3 and D. He's a stretch big. I think he can even play some 3-ball for him. He's in tremendous shape. That's another thing I don't think people give PJ Washington credit for, the shape that he is in. PJ Washington is in tremendous tip-top shape. And it's extraordinary, to the level that he's keeping his body. Let's keep it 100 with you. They all love LaMelo Ball, MB1, the one of one. That's just the elephant in the room. Let me just get to the elephant in the room, which is LaMelo Ball. Let me tell you something. Don't nobody want to leave LaMelo. What do you think why Miles ain't running around chirping and running up amok? He ain't ready to leave Charlotte. They love playing with LaMelo Ball. They got a magnetic force, on their hands. And I believe LaMelo wants PJ there. You can't break up this core. I know that people look at Charlotte as a laughingstock of a franchise, but they are not as bad as this record indicated. If they get the number 1 overall pick, Lord have mercy. I think you got to bring. Could you imagine what he could do for a guy in like the big man Wembanyama? PJ will work wonders. He will work perfectly next to Wembanyama. PJ is a tough player, too. I mean, he don't take no crap. You know, ain't nobody just going to push him over. He got a fiery side to him. You know, he got some dog in him, and I like that. And I noticed that about P.J. Washington. He's going to fit perfect with LaMelo Ball. You know, I want him around for the days when Charlotte start to go to where they need to go, because P.J. has been there before Melo got there. You know, he's seen, you know, the destruction and where the Hornets are, and, you know, and now with his hope now, I think that he needs to be a part of the new hope that is arose up here in Charlotte, North Carolina, because the Queen City, better days are before you. Now the only question is, all of this sounds realistic and beautiful if the owner wasn't Michael Jordan. Now we hearing that it's a situation where Jordan could be selling the team. Is P.J. Washington's contract gonna get swept up all in that? You know, or what's gonna happen with that situation? You know, it's time to start paying some people now out of nowhere. Michael Jordan ready to sell the team. You know, I'm just saying it don't make no sense. But I think a sale would benefit guys. Obviously, Michael Jordan's name is there for clout, but you need an owner that's going to come in here and put pressure on the organization to put a winner on the floor. And I think that's what Michael Jordan, I think, is not doing. You know, he's not putting pressure on Mitch Kupchak and whoever the hell is. You don't even know who's back there. You know, all you know is Michael Jordan and Kupchak is running things. Whoever else, they just figureheads. Poor Steve Clifford. You know, he never got an opportunity to get the pieces around him. He just working with the pieces that was given. You know, and P.J. Washington has been a bright side. You know, now is Michael Jordan gonna pay P.J. Washington? You know, P.J. said before the season started he wanted 20 plus million. Mind you, he put up 43 against OKC. You know, OKC is a team, you know, circling the playoff picture. You know, they trying to get in. They needed that game, so they beat them. You know, they didn't get a walk. It wasn't no walkthrough. You know, that was a good team. They didn't go and beat Houston. They beat OKC, who was competing to get into the playoffs. So that's nothing to scoff at. And like I said, with LaMelo being out, with you seeing PJ take the mantle, you know, and it's gonna be interesting to see how he closes this season. But he's definitely putting the organization on notice. I do believe that he's backed Michael Jordan and Mitch Kupchak into a corner. You know, they got to pay this man, point blank, period. There's no way around it. You know, and serious ramifications could be in store if you lose him. Because you got to understand something. If the Hornets don't get the #1 overall pick, you know, seriously, it's time to start thinking about what do you do. Because, you know, it's no way in the world you could lose Miles Bridges, you could lose P.J. Washington and think that you're going to be a competent basketball team and then mess around and get the 5th or 6th pick. I mean, it's a recipe for disaster. You know, they need the #1 pick more than anybody. But shout out to P.J. Washington. He will get paid. Will it be with Charlotte? It's Flight Sports TV. Let's politic it. What are they going to do? We're getting up out of here. We're going live tonight, too. Appreciate all the love and support. Peace.